Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Saturday, April 15, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Minnesota Twins vs New York Yankees. The Twins bombed the Yankees in the opening game of the series as they jumped all over a rookie starter. That isn't a luxury that they have in this one, as German has had success at the major league level. German did struggle with his control against Cleveland, throwing 87 pitches in 3 innings against Cleveland Monday, which is something that he has to correct going forward. Maile has not faced the Yankees in his career, which could be a bit of an issue, and even with a win Thursday, Yankee Stadium has been a house of horrors the last few years for the Twins. Minnesota angered the Yankees with their blowout win Thursday. That may be enough to get the momentum going in the direction of the Bronx Bombers here. Our team pick is New York Yankees. Minnesota earned their 3rd straight win as they jumped all over the Yankees early en route to a one-sided victory in the series opener Thursday night. The Twins entered Friday holding a 2-game lead over the Guardians in the AL Central with a 9-4 record. On Thursday night, Minnesota got 3 hits from Christian Vasquez, 2 runs, RBI, while Michael A. Taylor, 2 runs, 4 RBI, Donovan Solano, run, RBI, Jose Miranda, run, 2 RBI, Edward Julian, 2 runs, RBI, and Carlos Correa, 2 runs, RBI, each had 2 hits in the game. Taylor, his 2nd and 3rd, homered twice in the win, while Correa, his 1st, and Julian, his 1st, each homered as well. Joe Ryan, 3-0, was terrific on the mound, throwing 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits with no walks and 10 strikeouts. New York had won 2 straight and 4 of their previous 5 games, but were blown out before most fans had fully settled in their seats Thursday night. The Yankees dropped to 8-5 on the season and stand tied for 2nd in the AL East entering Friday, 5 games behind the Rays for the top spot in the division. On Thursday night, the Yankees were down 9-0 after half an inning, and you could turn the lights out at that point. New York finished with just 4 hits in the game, with Anthony Rizzo, 2 runs, 2 RBI, recording 3 of them. Rizzo, his 2nd and 3rd, hit a pair of solo homers in the game to account for the Yankees' offense. Joni Brito, 2-1, took the loss as he was shelled by giving up 7 runs on 6 hits with 1 walk and no strikeouts, while recording just 2 outs. Our total pick is over. San Francisco Giants vs Detroit Tigers. DeSclafani has been sharp in both of his starts this season and looks much more comfortable on the big league stage. Detroit counters with Boyd, but his reliability has been limited thus far, with each of his 2 starts going short of 5 innings. The Tigers' bullpen has already been taxed this season, and they will likely have to pitch multiple innings yet again in this spot. On the road, SF is a respectable 3-3 heading into Friday night's game, while the Tigers are still searching for their first home win heading into Friday night. The Tigers also own the worst batting average in MLB thus far, after finishing near the bottom last season. Look for the Giants to pull out an afternoon win on Saturday against the toothless Tigers. Take the Giants with the money line. It has been a slow start for the Giants this season, and they hope to turn it around soon or face the possibility of missing the playoffs for the 2nd straight year after winning the NL West division with a team record 107 wins in 2021. Thus far, the Giants have gotten inconsistent pitching with the team allowing 5 or more runs in 6 of their losses this season. On Friday night in Detroit, J.D. Davis hit a 3-run home run in the 8th inning to tie the game at 4 apiece, and Lamont Wade Jr. singled home the go-ahead run in the 11th, and the Giants looked to be on the way to a win. Reliever Camilo Doval was then 1 out away from victory before coughing up a 3-run home run on a 3-0 count to send the Giants to a 7-5 loss. The Detroit Tigers have started the 2023 season the same way they finished 2022, with a lack of hitting and inconsistent pitching. On Thursday night, in the series finale at Toronto, the Tigers got an outstanding start from Spencer Turnbull and salvaged a win in the series with the Blue Jays, 3-1. The story of the game, however, was the decision by manager AJ Hinch to bench SS Javier Baez after he made back-to-back poor decisions on the base paths. The message was sent, and Baez was back in the lineup for Friday's series opener against the Giants. On Friday night, the Tigers coughed up a 4-1 lead in the 8th and fell behind 5-4 heading into the bottom of the 11th. With runners on second and third with 2 outs, Nick Maton hit a walk-off 3-run home run for a 7-5 Tigers win. Our total pick is over. Baltimore Orioles vs Chicago White Sox. Chicago has their problems in the early going this season, and Kopech is a prime example of what has gone wrong for them. He couldn't throw strikes in his season debut and was roughed up by the Giants, giving up 5 homers in a 12-3 loss. While he was sharper in his second start, the White Sox didn't put any runs on the board to saddle him with a bitter loss in a 1-0 decision. Now he has to face a Baltimore team that is more than capable of putting up crooked numbers, as we saw earlier in the week against the A's. Gibson has been solid in his first 3 starts, and he has a more reliable lineup to provide support for him on the mound. Give the upper hand to the Orioles here, as Kopech deals with issues keeping the Baltimore lineup in check once again. Our team pick is Baltimore Orioles. I like the under on Saturday, and a big part of it is due to the success I think Gibson will have on the mound. Gibson's ERA in April last year was just 2.93 in 5 starts. Tim Anderson, Eloy Jimenez, and Yoan Moncada have all been bitten by the injury bug recently, and the White Sox count on those 3 players for a big portion of their offensive production. The over has failed to hit in Chicago's last 4 games, entering Friday night's contest against Baltimore, as the White Sox are averaging just 2.0 runs per game across that span. The Orioles' pitching staff has a respectable 1.38 whip this season, which should keep the White Sox in check once again. Baltimore has posted some pretty good offensive numbers so far, but their .255 batting average isn't exactly among the league leaders. The Orioles just feasted on Oakland's pitching staff the last 4 games, but Kopech will be a step up on Saturday. I'm taking the under 9.5 runs. Pittsburgh Pirates vs St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals have started the 2023 MLB regular season struggling on the mound. St. Louis is 21st in team ERA at 4.89 and 27th in WHIP at 1.54. The St. Louis starting rotation has only 2 quality starts, which is 24th, and the pitching staff is allowing opposing hitters to average .290, which is 30th. Jordan Montgomery is leading St. Louis in strikeouts with 17, and Jack Flaherty is the leader in ERA for starters at 1.76. Pittsburgh starting pitcher Roansy Contreras is coming off a very poor outing, in which the right-hander allowed 7 runs on 9 hits in just 3 innings, with Pittsburgh losing to Houston 8-2. Last season, in 3 of 4 appearances against the Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis starting pitcher Steven Matz threw well, allowing 1 earned run over the last 3 appearances, all of which were in relief. Pittsburgh has lost 141 of its last 205 played on the road, and the Pirates have lost 53 of the last 79 on the road versus a team with a losing record. Pittsburgh struggles at the plate with a team batting average of .231, and on the mound, the Pirates have a 4.54 ERA, which is only 16th. In effect, Pittsburgh will have a hard time at the plate overcoming the runs the Pirates' pitching staff allows. Our team pick is St. Louis Cardinals. The total has finished under in 5 of the Pirates' last 6 played on the road, and in 4 of the Pirates' last 6 against a team with a losing record. St. Louis has had the total finish under in 8 of its last 9 overall, and in 4 of the last 5 versus a team from the National League Central. Pittsburgh is just 21st in runs scored, while St. Louis is also 21st, with both averaging 4.31 runs per game. Our total pick is under. Tampa Bay Rays vs Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto was unable to come away with a home sweep against the Tigers as they dropped Game 3, scoring just 1 run despite totaling 8 hits. 7 of 9 batters in the lineup recorded a hit, with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. logging the sole RBI off a single in the 3rd. Guerrero is batting .412 on the season. Chris Bassett took the start for the Blue Jays, and he delivered, striking out 7 with 3 walks and 2 runs through 6 innings. LHP Yusei Kikuchi is set to make his 3rd start of the season, and he's jumped out to a mixed start, posting 8 Ks and 7 runs through 9.1 innings. In his 3 games against the Rays last season, Kikuchi posted strong numbers, striking out 15 and allowing just 3 runs and a batting average of .184 with a 2.45 ERA. Kikuchi threw much better at home in 2022 as his ERA was nearly 1.5 runs better than on the road. This can be attributed to his more aggressive pitching style, which yielded him a career-high strikeout rate, but also a career-high in walks allowed. It remains to be seen if this aggressive posture will pay off as he finished with a career-high barrel rate and a mixed whip posting at 1.50. This will be Kikuchi's first home start of his 2023 campaign. The Blue Jays entered this game with a run differential of +1, which is 11th in the league. Despite the slim margin in runs, Toronto leads the majors in both at-bats and hits per game, posting a batting average of .284. What has hindered the Blue Jays' ability to rack up the runs, where they sit right inside the top 10 on a per-game basis, has been their inability to drive runners home, sitting bottom 10 in runners stranded. This is partially due to the lack of extra base hits by the Blue Jays, but also can be attributed to their propensity to swing at balls outside of the zone. While it can be seen as a positive to make solid contact outside the strike zone, these hits often led to poor ball placement that either doesn't advance runners or results in double plays. The Blue Jays will need to carry their confidence forward against the undefeated Rays, but will need poise at the plate to not get sucked into swinging at unfavorable pitches. While the Rays are red hot, they're facing a Toronto team that has been playing well in their own right. The Rays will definitely have a mark on their back as any last unbeaten team will. If the Blue Jays take Game 1, they'll have the confidence they need to bring the runs back in Game 2. Meanwhile, the sign that finally losing could have the Rays less amped to play as now it's any other series. In any case, look for Kikuchi to toss well and for the Blue Jays to win north of the border. Our team pick is Toronto money line. Both of these squads have seen the ball incredibly well of late, and they each sit among the best in the league in terms of batting average. The Rays have feasted in terms of knocking balls out of the park, while the Blue Jays sit atop the league in plate appearances. The Rays pitching will come back to earth here, and the bats will stay hot for each dugout. Take the over 9.5 runs. Milwaukee Brewers vs San Diego Padres. The Brewers have won 3 of their last 5 games and 4 of their last 6 road games. They are playing well offensively, scoring 14 runs in their last 3 road games. Even though Lugo has done a great job on the mound for the Padres, expect the Brewers to continue playing well offensively because they have done a great job against right-handers and will be able to blow the game wide open when San Diego's bullpen gets into the game because they have struggled this season. They cost the Padres the first game of the series and will be the weak link once again. The Padres have won 4 of their last 7 games. They are also playing well offensively, scoring 14 runs in their last 3 home games. However, they will struggle offensively in this game because they have struggled against right-handers, and Peralta has been dealing on the mound, giving up 1 run in 2 starts, while going at least 6 innings in both starts. He is also backed up by the best bullpen in the league, so expect them to keep San Diego's offense in check. Go with Milwaukee to cover the money line. Taking the under in this matchup for a couple of reasons. We are coming off a high-scoring Game 2 that totaled 13 runs between the 2 teams, and I think we see quite the opposite in Game 3 as baseball likes to do. We have 2 solid starters on the bump for both teams, with Freddie Peralta posting a 0.75 ERA and a 1.00 whip in his first 2 starts, while Seth Lugo has a 1.38 ERA and a 1.00 whip in his first 2 starts. The Brewers lineup is a little concerning when taking this under, but with the team totaling 11 runs last night, we are almost certain to see some regression in Game 3. The Padres on the other hand have just struggled overall at the plate, with Xander Bogaerts being their only real source of offense thus far. In terms of trends, the Brewers have gone under in their past 5 games with Peralta on the bump against a team from the NL West, while the Padres have gone under in 4 of their past 5 games overall, and in their past 4 games against a right-handed starter. In addition, when these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone under in 13 of their past 19 meetings overall, and in their past 7 meetings in San Diego. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under for this matchup. Our total pick is under 8 runs.